Imagine this for a second. You're feeling a bit under the weather. Maybe you've caught a cold, and someone leans over and says, "Hey, whatever you do, don't die here. It's against the law." Sounds like the setup for a really bad joke, doesn't it? Well, it's not. In a tiny frozen town in the far reaches of Norway, dying is literally against the law. Welcome to Longyearbyen, a remote town nestled deep within the Arctic Circle, on the breathtakingly beautiful and rugged island of Svalbard. The population hovers around just 2,000 hardy souls. But get this, the polar bear population, it's even higher. This isn't just a place on a map, it's one of the world's northernmost inhabited areas, a frontier land of ice and enduring spirits. Now, this is where things take a turn for the truly bizarre. In Longyearbyen it is, in a very real sense, illegal to die. But why? What could possibly be the reason for such a strange rule? Are they worried about ghosts haunting the northern lights? Is it some sort of complicated tax scheme? Or maybe, just maybe, they're preparing for a zombie apocalypse. 2. The real reason is far more fascinating and has everything to do with the ground beneath their feet. The secret lies in one word: permafrost. The soil in Longyearbyen is permanently frozen, year-round. It's as hard as concrete and as cold as, well, an Arctic freezer. So, when someone passes away and is buried in this permafrost, something unusual happens. Or rather, doesn't happen. The body doesn't decompose. The natural process of breaking down simply grinds to a halt in the extreme cold. In fact, corpses that were buried here over a century ago are still almost perfectly preserved, locked in a state of icy suspension. Let's rewind to the early 20th century, during the devastating Spanish flu pandemic that swept the globe. In the 1910s, this deadly virus reached even this remote outpost. Several miners who tragically succumbed to the illness were buried in the local cemetery, their graves sealed by the frozen earth. For decades, they lay there, undisturbed. Then, in the late 1990s, scientists, driven by curiosity and a bit of caution, decided to investigate. They carefully exhumed one of the bodies to study it. What they found sent a chill down the spine of the global scientific community, a chill colder than any Arctic winter. Inside the perfectly preserved tissues of the long-deceased miner, they found intact genetic material from the Spanish flu virus. That's right, the deadly pathogen that had killed millions worldwide was still viable, preserved in its icy tomb. The permafrost hadn't just preserved the bodies, it had created a potential biological time bomb. The town was essentially sitting on a subterranean repository of ancient, deadly diseases. The idea of flu zombies might sound like something from a horror movie. But in Longyearbyen, it was a terrifyingly real possibility. What if the permafrost thawed due to climate change? What if other unknown pathogens were also lying in wait? Faced with this unprecedented risk, the town authorities had to make a drastic decision. To prevent the potential re-emergence of old pandemics, they instituted the Nathamus Law. In 1950, the cemetery was officially closed, and the no-dying rule was put in place. It's not that they'll arrest a ghost. Of course, it's a practical measure. If you become terminally ill or are nearing the end of your life, you can't stay. The system is designed to gently but firmly relocate you. You'll be flown out of town, usually to a hospital or care facility on the Norwegian mainland, to live out your final days where traditional burial or cremation is possible. This unique law has some profound ripple effects on the community's structure. For instance, Longyearbyen has no elderly care homes or hospices. It's a town geared towards the young and the working. While people raise families here, there's an understanding that it isn't a place to grow old and retire. It's a temporary home, however long that temporary period might last. 2. Even in cases of sudden, accidental death, say from an avalanche or a tragic encounter with a polar bear, the body is not buried on the island. The deceased are transported away for their final arrangements. So, what does this all mean for daily life? It creates a unique social dynamic, a community of resilient, adventurous people who are acutely aware of the line between life and the great beyond. They live surrounded by raw, untamed nature, where survival is a daily consideration. The rule isn't a morbid joke, it's a testament to their adaptability and their commitment to protecting both their own community and the wider world from a hidden, frozen threat. If you're ever planning a trip to this extraordinary corner of the world, just remember the golden rule: meet. Sure, you're feeling very much alive when you arrive, and it's probably a good idea to plan on leaving in the same condition. It's a place that celebrates life in its most vibrant and rugged form, precisely because it has no place for death. So, the next time you hear someone say that death and taxes are the only two certainties in life, you can smile and tell them they just haven't looked far enough north. There's a place where you can, in fact, escape death's final claim. You just have to book a flight to Svalbard. If you found this story as strange and fascinating as we did, you're going to love what we have coming up next. Did you know there's a town that actually banned being overweight? Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more bizarre stories from the most unusual places on Earth. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.